Suzanne Vega. She wrote a song so good one time, I put my hands around her neck and started to choke her. But I thought better of it. So here she is.
Yeah, I'm Suzanne Vega. You know, we're all here, and I thought I would do that song, Dave. That tried to. They actually really did this. He actually put his hands around my neck and squeezed really hard. And I realized that he was not kidding. So I remember the night I wrote this song. I wrote it over a weekend, and I remember thinking, yeah, I think the songwriters group will really like this one. Except for like one.
No, I like it.
Soldier came knocking upon the Queen's door. He said, I am not fighting for you anymore. And the Queen knew she'd seen his face someplace before. And slowly she led him inside. He said, I've watched your palace up here on the hill, and I've wondered who's the woman for whom we all kill. But I'm leaving tomorrow, and you can do what you will. Only first I am asking you why. Down the long narrow hall he was led, into her room with her tapestries red, and she never once took the crown from her head. She asked him there to sit down. He said, I see you now, and you are so very young, but I've seen more battles lost than I have battles won. I've got this intuition, says it's all for your fun. And now will you tell me why? Well, the young queen, she fixed him with an arrogant eye. She said, you won't understand, and you may as well not try. But her face was a child, and he thought she would cry. But she closed herself up like a fan. She said, I've swallowed a secret burning thread. It cuts me inside, and often I've bled. And he laid his hand then on the top of her head, and he bowed her down to the ground. Tell me, how hungry are you, how weak you must feel, 'cause you are living here alone and you are never revealed. But I won't march again on your battlefield. And he took her to the window to see. And the sun, it was gold, though the sky was gray. And she wanted more than she ever could say. But she knew how it frightened her, and she turned away and would not look at his face again. And he said, I want to live as an honest man, to get all I deserve and to give all I can, and to love a young woman who I don't understand. Your Highness, your ways are very strange. But the crown, it had fallen, she thought she would break, and she stood there ashamed of the way her heart ached. And she took him to the doorstep, and she asked him to wait. She would only be a moment inside. And out in the distance her order was heard, and the soldier was killed, still waiting for her word. And while the queen went on stranded in the solitude she fulfilled, the battle continued on. So I came down to Folk City, and I came down to Cornelia Street also when I was 20 years old. And the reason I remember that so clearly is I remember my 21st birthday at Folk City, and I finally became legal to drink. And it was much celebrating that night. And now it's so many years later. So I wrote this song for two people. I wrote this song for Jack Hardy and also for Brian Rose. And I wrote it probably in 1981, and I've sung it probably 5 million times since then. You may have even heard it, but I'm going to do it again. Back then, when I first came on the scene, Jack Hardy and I, not many people know this, but we actually sort of dated for a few months, if you want to call it dating. The problem was he had a girlfriend at the time, so everything had to be very secret. And of course, once I realized that he went on to marry this girlfriend and have 4 children with her, so I got out of the way really quickly. But before that, we really did have this midnight picnic at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. That was Jack Hardy's idea, and we sat there and had sandwiches and wine, and it is not a metaphor for anything else. It really was a picnic, an actual one, that we did at midnight. So the rest of the song is dedicated to Brian Rose, who's a wonderful photographer. And so I'd always imagined this narrator's voice being sort of his voice in a way. The song is called Tom's Diner, and it goes like this. I am sitting in the morning at the diner on the corner. I am waiting at the counter for the man to pour the coffee, and he fills it only halfway, and before I even argue, he is looking out the window at somebody coming in. It is always nice to see you, says the man behind the counter to the woman who has come in. She is shaking her umbrella, and I look the other way as they are kissing their hellos, and I'm pretending not to see them, and instead I pour the milk. I open up the paper, there's a story of an actor who had died while he was drinking. It was no one I had heard of, and I'm turning to the horoscope and looking for the funnies when I'm feeling someone watching me, and so I raise my head. There's a woman on the outside looking inside. Does she see me? No, she does not really see me, 'cause she sees her own reflection, and I'm trying not to notice that she's stitching up her skirt, and while she's straightening her stockings, her hair has gotten wet. Oh, this rain, it will continue through the morning as I'm listening to the bells of the cathedral. I am thinking of your voice and of the midnight picnic once upon a time, before the rain began. And I finish up my coffee, and it's time to catch the train.